All right, my friends, welcome to High Performance Habits Book Club Day 9. My name is Justin Miller. I'm your host, and we are about to page 290, I think, with this episode. I don't remember exactly which version of the audio book that's broken up if you're following along there. But we're on high performance habit number 6, demonstrate courage. So, and this is the final habit, and then it gets us into part 3 of the book. So, within that habit, there is 3 practices within there. It talks about honor the struggle, share your truth and ambition, and find someone to fight for you. Now, I didn't get this into a PowerPoint slide presentation or anything like that for this time. I really wanted to. I'm a little short on time, so I just want to make sure that I get the information out to you. So I did create some notes here. I also answered the performance prompts as to how I would answer them. Hopefully that'll give you some food for thought and get you to take some actions in this. Again, always, as you answer these, and if you'd like to share them, I would really love to hear your thoughts on them. So, practice number 1, honor the struggle. There was a few quotes in this section here that really spoke to me, and really this habit, I think, overall, I think really with any business, right, or any sort of entrepreneur mindset, that if you're going to go that route, right, obviously that requires a lot of courage, no matter what the business model is. So, anyways, honor the struggle. The few quotes here that I really liked, takeaways were, when we learn to see struggle as necessity, important, and positive part of the journey, then we can find true peace and personal power. So that quote really spoke to me. And then it goes on to say the alternative, of course, is crippling. Those who hate the struggle or fear it end up complaining, losing motivation, and quitting. And that just really spoke to me because I see that, especially within our industry, I see that quite often, right? Whether if it's health and fitness or, building a business from the ground up, right? We see that quite often to where, when it starts to get a little tough, that they weren't anticipating it or whatever. And rather than knowing that, hey, this is just part of it, right? I knew this going in. That they lose the motivation and they quit. So, it requires patience, perseverance, just like any sort of business does, right? So let me see if I can scroll down here for you. Performance prompts for this section. So this is how I would answer these. A struggle I've been facing in my life is, number 1 is commuting, and then number 2, recent development, kind of on a personal note, I guess, is the plausibility of having to support my parents, to some level or another. So really just kind of adds to the fuel to the fire. So number 2, the way I could change my view of the struggle is it's time. It's time that I can use to. This is speaking of the commute every day, right? It's time that I could use to learn a new skill or way of thinking, right? And so oftentimes I'll listen to podcasts, I'll listen to audiobooks like the one that we're covering now, right? Those things that fill your mind with useful knowledge, right? And then I also use it for visualization time, right? Of like, what do I want in my business? What do I want the next 12 to 18 months to look like, right? So it's really great for that, right? Just as far as like quiet time and time to reflect. So, and then to second to that is, in regards to my parents, is that I have a unique opportunity to connect with my parents, right? And like, how can I help them, within that situation, right? And all of these, this way of thinking, right, and this kind of mindset shift, right, that have developed. It's kind of like exercise, right, that have developed over the years. is really going to serve me well in this situation. I feel like I am very capable and very well equipped to handle it, right? An emotional need, whatever they need, and to help them through it, and all of those sort of things. So, anyways, number 3, if something great could come from this struggle, it would be that it creates an external force to raise necessity, right? We talked about that in one of the previous habits, was that raising that necessity, that there's both an internal force and then an external force, right? So that's the way that I'm choosing to view all of these, different things. So it creates an external force to raise necessity while I work part-time to create real wealth for my family and for other families. And it gives me a why. It gives me purpose and a vision, right? To know that I can create a revenue stream online, right, without leaving my house and from my phone and from my computer, is pretty amazing, right? And then, I can take that additional income, and for me anyways, my vision is I save that up. Now I can start reinvesting that into real estate, right? We already have one investment property, so my vision is that we'll add to that, right? I foresee to where within a year or two that we'll have another investment property, right? And then we'll just snowball it from there. You figure, you pick up an investment property, you put your 20% down or whatever, $500, $700 or something like that a month, right? That adds to your cash flow, and then you just keep doing that, right? And then plus on top of this, with this company and stuff like that, right? And we have Sandy as a company, all of those things, right? They really start to snowball. So, anyways, so that's kind of a little bit on my vision. Number 4, the way I choose to greet life's inevitable hardships from today forward is, and really, I don't know if it's necessarily today or not, but this is the way that I view things, is there's always something to be gained in the struggle, right? No matter the situation. So, like a lot of the last, 2018, 2017, I was going through a lot of personal health stuff, right? And with no answers from the doctors or specialists or anything like that, right? And, I had to dig down and do research and figure it out. But now I have a total new appreciation, right, for being your own health advocate, and that realizing that the doctors really don't always have the answers. That they don't care about your health as much as you do. And that you have to take it into your own hands, do your own research, and figure it out. And today, and I just recently posted on my Facebook and on my Instagram my results, right, from, going into really fit and healthy shape, 4 years ago or so, to, not being able to work out and not being able to physically do those sort of things, to healing my gut, healing my neurological system, all of that sort of stuff, and getting back on track to where I am today. So I think that really, my point was that really speaks to, there's always something to be found, no matter what the struggle is, right? All right, practice number 2 here. I'll pick up the pace here a little bit. So I have a screenshot here. I don't want to blow it up because I think it's going to kind of blow out the screen here, but there was a few things that really spoke to me on that section. So if you have the book, page 276 through 278, that whole section really spoke to me. I really liked that. And then there's a few quotes that I have from there. There's, no one can quiet you without your permission. No one can minimize your self-image but you, and no one can open you up and release your full power but you. So that quote there really spoke to me. And it talks about, playing small doesn't really help anybody, playing small because you don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever, placate to them. That sort of stuff really spoke to me, right? That, like, if your vision is so big that, it's too big for them to even comprehend, well, that's their problem, right? It's not yours. And don't live down to their expectations. Live up to yours, live up to your vision. If you have a mentor that's cheering you on and they have a vision for you and you're both in alignment, then go for it. What's holding you back? So, performance prompts for this section. Something I really want to do that I haven't shared enough with people is create partnerships, right? And so that's what I'm talking about with my business model. Create partnerships with like-minded entrepreneurs, and I see that I probably have a typo there. Entrepreneurs where we strive together for a common goal, right? And so, it's part of that whole process of learning about each other, right? And figuring out what the vision is that my business partners have, right? And then, they take a step and I take 2 steps. They take 2 steps and I take 4, right? And so we work back and forth with that kind of that mentor-mentee relationship, and we brainstorm and we figure out what works and we try things, right? And get them to the income level that they're talking about or whatever their vision is for their business. Like, that's the stuff that gets me fired up. Number 2, if I were going to be more me in my everyday life, I would start to just simply ask, right? And I feel like I can do more of that, but I've been doing a lot more of that, I feel like, and I'm going to continue to do that, right? Because if you don't ask, how can you possibly know, right? Whether if that's someone, you want someone to join you at the gym, like health and fitness or something like that, or like, you have a business that you want to build, right? Or like maybe you're looking for investors, right? Like maybe you're doing some sort of a traditional brick and mortar company, right? And you have half the money, but you need, another $50,000, right? Don't be afraid to go and ask. You might have some people in your immediate circle that would be glad to finance your business, but they don't even know that you're interested in that until you work up the courage to ask, right? And it's the same thing, with like your spouse too, right? Sometimes, and I know this from firsthand, right? It can kind of be scary sometimes to be vulnerable like that and say, to your spouse or whatever, right? Hey, I have this big dream or this vision, like, will you support me? It's not always easy. So you got to work up the courage for that. I know. All right. Number 3. When I put myself out there and someone makes fun of me, I'm just going to ignore it. They don't pay my bills, and realize it's their loss and not mine, because this is where we're going. So if they don't want to get on board, that's fine, right? And another note on that, so probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, right, when I first started doing all this, right, and kind of the online workouts and stuff like that, and really being outspoken, right, and sharing my journey on social media, right, there's plenty of ridicule that I got, right? And even after, like, I lost 40 pounds and had this amazing transformation, right, and abs and aesthetics and all that good stuff, right, there's still plenty of people that made fun of me. Can you believe that, right? But I didn't let it stop me. And I ignored it, right? In my opinion, if you start to have like haters and some people ridiculing you, that means you're doing something right. And if you don't have any, then maybe you need to play a little bigger. All right. Let's see here. So where was I at? A major dream I'm going to start telling people about and asking for some help with is the vision for our business, right? And I know I'd shared this in one of our previous groups, right? So that this year, really, I'm looking for 5 business partners, right? That are ready to go, right? And so, maybe you have some experience with fitness, maybe you're certified in yoga, maybe you've done some competitions and stuff like that. You're familiar with the gym and all that kind of stuff, right? And you enjoy sharing that information and teaching people and inspiring people, and that's kind of your jam, right? And you really enjoy that sort of stuff and the community and stuff like that, right? And that you've always thought maybe like, it might be kind of neat if I could turn that into some sort of a revenue stream, right? Maybe even part-time or something like that, right? That I'm not just reliant on 1 or 2 streams of income, right? The average millionaire has like 7 streams of income, right? So, all the things that are online and technology and the stuff we can do with our phone now is amazing, right? So, those are the kind of people that I'm looking for, right? And so, if that's something that suits you, that you share a similar vision for, those are the kind of people that I really want to work with, and I really want to mentor and kind of show them what is really capable and what this business is all about and what we do. So, all right, practice number 3. Find someone to fight for. And so this one was pretty straightforward for me. It always has been my wife, right? Primarily, like everything that we do, right? And we're a team unit, right? So, she has the stuff that she does. I have the stuff that I do, and at the end of the day, we come together and we share those visions, share those dreams, right? And then we cheer each other on and back each other up as best as possible. That doesn't mean it's always easy, right? I mean, there's certainly conflict and strife sometimes and stuff like that, but I really think that you have to, view life as like you're a team, right? And then recently, I think that the other part of it, and I mentioned it before, is my parents, right? And so that situation that we're in right now, is just fuel to the fire. So, all right. And then so performance prompts for that. The one courageous action I will take this week because someone I love needs me to take it is share my results to date and my health struggles, right? And so that's one that I actually just did. I think I shared it Monday on Instagram and then Tuesday on Facebook, right? And kind of my history and struggles with that and all that stuff. So if you haven't seen those video clips yet, I really encourage you to go check that out. If you follow me on Facebook, check that one out. It kind of gives some of the background and details on that. And then Instagram is kind of just more the promo version of it. But number 2, another courageous action I will take this week. Oh, and back on all that stuff. So, that was kind of, I had to work up some courage to really share all that, especially on the Facebook stuff, right? Because it's friends and family and stuff like that. So, number 2, another courageous action I will take this week because a cause I believe in needs me to take it is I plan on hosting, I think it's 1 week from today. I'm going to host a live webinar, and my goal is to ask 40 people to attend it, right? And so that's talking all about the business and kind of how that works, how we're compensated, all those sort of things, right? and all the trainings and stuff like that, just to give kind of a high-level perspective for people that are like-minded entrepreneurs, right? And then number 3, another courageous action I will take this week because my dream requires it of me. I will be bold and share my vision, right? And so that's kind of what all this group is about too, right? Is sharing each other's vision, right? And what are your dreams? What is it that you want for the next 3 to 5 years, right? Are you happy where you're at, or would you like to do something a little bit more? Is there something else in you, right? And I think you know that. I think for the most part that you know that if you have a drive or there's something that's kind of missing and gnawing at you, right? But anyways, those are kind of the notes that I have here. Again, I was trying to keep it a little bit short here, so we're about 20 minutes, so I will wrap up. It'll probably be this weekend, I think. That'll give me enough time to get through the next section here. We're almost towards the end of the book, it looks like. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope that this video has served you well. Go out there, crush the rest of your week, and stay safe, guys, and we will see you soon. All right, take care.